Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
It's Yankee baseball time again. This is Bob Delaney welcoming you to another baseball game brought to you by the makers of Ballantine Beer. Once again, Mel Allen, Red Barber, and Phil Rizzuto are at hand to bring you the play-by-play. Well, looks like they're all set to go down on the field, so let's us get set as the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer for the 26th straight year as baseball's largest continuous radio and TV sponsor brings you Yankee Baseball. This broadcast comes to you by courtesy of the Atlantic Refining Company and P. Ballantine & Sons, in cooperation with Sports Network, by authority of the Yankees. It's intended solely for the private enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play description without the express consent of the Yankees is prohibited. Well, hope you're all set now for the ball game with plenty of the crisp refresher Ballantine Beer. See for yourself why over 5 million glasses of Ballantine Beer are enjoyed every day. We're all set now for the Yankee baseball game, so let's go down and pick up the starting lineups.
Before we give you the batting order, I hope you'll order up some of that crisp refresher Ballantine Beer. The batting order for the Baltimore Orioles: Dick Williams, left field; Jackie Brandt, center field; Brooks Robinson, third base; Jim Gentile, first base; Gus Riendos, catching; Braun Hansen, shortstop; Eddie Robinson in right field, Earl Robinson rather, in right field; Jerry Adair, second base; and Chuck Estrada doing the pitching. For New York, Tony Kubek, shortstop; Hector Lopez, left field; Roger Maris, right field; Mickey Mantle, center field; Yogi Berra, catching; Bill Scaron, first base; Clete Boyer, third base; Bobby Richardson, second base; and Whitey Ford doing the pitching. Whitey Ford with a record of 4-1. Chuck Estrada with a record of 2-2. Yesterday, the Indians beat the Yankees 4-3. Baltimore beat Washington 4-3. Boston beat Detroit 4-3 in 10 innings. We had a lot of 4-3 games yesterday, including 2 in the National League. Minnesota beat Kansas City 2-0. While in the National League, Los Angeles beat San Francisco 4-3. Pittsburgh beat Philadelphia 4-3. Milwaukee 9, Cincinnati 5. Chicago 1, St. Louis nothing, and Carryback won it all. But today in the American League, Chicago at Boston, early win against Ike DeLock. Win seeking his 284th Major League victory. And Roy Sievers got him off to a good start in the second inning with a home run. 1-0 Chicago, White Sox batting in the second inning. Washington at Los Angeles playing a doubleheader. Umpires are coming out. A little late, and I'll tell you why. Cleveland and Minnesota, doubleheader. No report as yet. Detroit at Kansas City, no report. In the National League, Pittsburgh won, Philadelphia batting in the first inning. Law and Green. Milwaukee at Cincinnati, Spahn and Jay in the first game. St. Louis at Chicago, Simmons and Cardwell will be the pitchers in the first game. Los Angeles, San Francisco, latest start. The umpires out at home plate. Their uniforms did not arrive until a little bit ago. In fact, about 15 minutes ago. And I very nearly didn't arrive here in time because I was there talking to them. Somehow or other, the airline mixed up the shipment. It only had to come from Boston since yesterday. But it didn't leave Boston until 12 o'clock. Fortunately, it's not such a long walk to the beach from there. And so they were rapidly getting dressed, and I suddenly looked up at the clock, and I said, I was kidding them about being late, and I looked up. I had to hop put it up the aisle to get here myself, but some of these same umpires were involved in the situation once. It was Bill Summers, Billy Greaves, two now retired, Larry Knapp and John Stevens, when their uniforms never did arrive. So they started the game in their civilian clothes. They borrowed some spikes and they borrowed some baseball caps. Bill Summers, because it was a home game here at Yankee Stadium, refused to wear the Yankee cap, so he got one from the opposing team. Yankees take the field. And then the uniforms began to arrive. After about the third inning, they arrived, rather. So at each inning, one umpire would leave, go in and change clothes and come back. Right now, our national anthem. Whitey Ford coming out of the dugout. And moving up toward home plate is leadoff man Dick Williams. Whitey Ford worked against Baltimore on April 21st at Baltimore and beat them 4-2. The Yankees have played Baltimore 4 games, and they've been all at Baltimore. The Yankees dropped 2 out of 3, and 1 wound up in a tie. Ford winning that one game 4-2 on April the 21st, beating Steve Barber. This is Whitey's 9th start. He's won 4 and lost 1. On May 9th, the Yankees lost the game he started, but Arroyo was the losing pitcher. An 8th inning uprising by the A's. And then last Sunday, he lost the ball game to check that. He had a victory pretty well set, it seemed, over the Tigers, and his relief in the 9th inning was not equal to the occasion and had to go into extra innings before they won, and Coach got the win. As we get ready to move, there's been a lineup change, and we'll try to find out why. Bill, will you call and see what you can find out about it? Jim Busby's in center in place of Jackie Brandt. This was a lineup change just before the fight starts. Dick Williams, right-hand batter. The Orioles have gotten straightened out, have been playing pretty good ball. Half a game behind New York now. The Yankees 5 out. Cleveland, Minnesota tied for second, 4 out. Ford into the windup. Around comes the left arm. The pitch is in there. Called strike. Larry Knapp is back to the plate. Johnny Rice at first base. Johnny Stevens at second. Harry Schwartz at third. Ford to the windup again. The pitch, fastball swung on. Little dribbler, could be trouble. Ford up for the ball, fires to first and gets in. It was too far out for Farrer to get to. Whitey went over, grabbed it, whirled, and threw him out. But a left-hand hitter, might have been a different story. Jim Busby, the veteran, playing center field. A last-minute change in the lineup. Busby, 1 for 6, hitting 167. Lopez in left, Mantle in center, Maris in right. Lum Harris coaching at third, Jimmy Adair at first. Whitey to the windup, in comes the pitch, and it is swung on, hit to the box. Whitey grabs it, throws on to Skowron, and there are 2 away. 2 up and 2 down. Now coming up is Brooks Robinson, hitting .343. I remember when we were in Baltimore a few weeks ago, Brooks was having a lot of trouble getting on track. But once he got on track, he's been highballing. He's not stopping for any place. Ford's pitch to the right-hand batter, inside, ball 1. Jackie Brandt injured the back of his left hand breaking up a double play against Minnesota. Collided with Gardner, but thought he might get in. Here's the pitch. Curveball over for a strike. Then decided he couldn't handle it. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Whitey to the windup. The pitch swung on. There's a drive to deep right center. Maris digging, still going, and one-handed in right center. The side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of the first half, the first inning, Baltimore nothing, and New York coming to bat. I know when listening to these baseball broadcasts, you've heard that bouncy Ballantine beer jingle. The opening lines are, to be crisp, a beer must be icily light with true lager flavor. Precisely right. Catchy words. And they sound great when put to music. But the important thing about them is they make sense. After all, aren't lightness and true lager flavor the things you look for in a beer? Sure they are. But how about refreshment? Well, as the song says, lively golden, crystally clear, the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Yes, golden crystal clear Ballantine is the one and only crisp refresher. Your first swallow and each one to follow refreshes you like a cool dip on a summer's day. Hope that you get a chance to try Ballantine and teach your thirst. Icily light, crystally clear Ballantine beer. Now in the last of the first inning, Tony Kubek leads off. Hector Lopez on deck and Roger Maris to follow. Chuck Estrada, fireballing right-hander, 23 years old, from San Luis Obispo, California. Beat the Yankees 4-1 April 23rd. The only run he gave up was a home run by Mantle. Beat Minnesota 13-5, lost to the Indians 6-4, and to Minnesota 10-5. The right-hander pitches to Kubek, who swings and bounces it out to second. A big hop to Jerry Adair. The throw to first in time, and there's one away. A lot of first ball hitting here in the first inning. Jerry Adair, by the way, has done the unexpected rolling Marv Breeding for his job. Breeding, who played all last year, did not get off with a real good start with that bat. And Adair went in there and he did. So he's playing second base. Hector Lopez awaits the pitch from Estrada. Here it is. High and inside, ball 1. Lopez hitting 200. No score, first inning. Outfield straight away. Williams on left, Brandt in center, Earl Robinson in right. Estrada's pitch is inside the belt, ball 2, 2-0. Estrada in 7 games has started 6, relieved in 1, 1-2, lost 2. Pitched 31 2/3 innings, allowed 28 hits and 19 runs. 7 homers. The 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Walked 27, struck out 24. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. It's inside. Letter high. Ball 3. 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. The right hand into the windup, and the 3-1 pitch is over. Strike 2. Full count. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Lopez strikes out. 2 away, and here's Roger Maris batting .234. Raj is starting to pick up in his hitting. No score, first inning. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch is a curve fouled off upstairs. Strike 1. Steve Barber and Roland Sheldon figured to go in the second game. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. Swung on. There's the drive to deep right field. That ball is going to be in there for a home run for Roger Maris. Roger Maris getting his 7th homer and his 3rd homer in 3 consecutive games. We had a hold up. The ball was hit hard and had to carry, but it was low. It was a liner. Earl Robinson leaped high, and we had to wait to see whether he'd grab it or not, and he didn't. Mickey Mantle up, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Maris hit him off Perry and Bell the last 2 days. In fact, it is his 4th home run since May 17th. May 17th, 19th, 20th, and 2 days. Now the pitch to Mickey is a curve inside for a ball. Mantle hitting .308. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1-0 New York on Roger Maris' line homer into the right field seat. A 1-1 count on Mick. 2 away. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1-2. Mantle didn't like the call. A 1-2 count. Two outs. The windup, around comes the right arm to pitch, and Mantle swings and misses. Strike 3. Sides retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. And at the end of the first inning, Yankees 1, the Orioles nothing. Elsewhere, White Sox, Red Sox 1-1, end of 2. As Pagliarone homered for the Red Sox in the second off win. In the National League, Pittsburgh 2, Phils nothing, end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee nothing, Cincinnati nothing, end of an inning. St. Louis, Chicago, no score at the end of an inning. As we go into the second inning, Jim Gentile will lead off. Gus Triandos on deck, and Braun Hansen to follow. Jim Gentile, the leading slugger in the American League right now. He has driven in 40 runs. And he, in other words, has really been hitting a blue streak. He leads the league in homers at 12 and driven in 40 runs. And this is the Orioles' 35th game, won a tie. Man, he's got over 100 games left. You ought to drive in a slew of runs this year. The pitch is a curve outside for a ball. He is so hot right now that they're playing him against left-hand pitchers. Usually they alternate with Dropo. Of course, Dropo was given his unconditional release to make room for Ed Hyde. Here's the delivery. Inside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. But there was a reason they had Walt around. Have that right-hand man to go against the left-hand pitcher. 2 balls, no strikes. Forward to the windup, and the pitch swung on line. Richardson makes a leaping grab for the out. Jim Gentile robbed of a base hit. Bobby Richardson leaped high and to his left with the outstretched glove speared the liner to rob Gentile of a hit. Now Gus Triandos coming up. Triandos hitting .310, takes a strike. Gentile is batting .322. And the pitch swung on to high fly ball into short right. Richardson out, and Bobby calls for it and makes the catch right in front of Maris. 2 away. And here we have coming up Braun Hansen, who has had a disappointing early start, batting .222. Must be a little something to that spring training. He reported late. Bill Stafford reported late coming out of service. But Hansen still has driven in 16 runs. Forward to the windup, and the pitch swung on, bounced down to third, grabbed back to the bag by Boyer. The throw across the diamond to Skowron in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of an inning and a half, New York 1, Baltimore nothing.
To be crisp, a beer must be icily light. Ooh, icily light. With true lager flavor, precisely right. Ooh, precisely right. Lively golden, crystally clear. The crisp refresher. Crisp refresher. Valentine beer.
Pleasure is the purpose of the crisp refresher. Your first swallow and everyone to follow is light and crisp and golden. So pour pleasure. Pour today's Valentine.
So clap your hands, tap your feet, snap your fingers, and ask the man for Valentine, the crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
Since 1840,
America's finest.
Yogi Berra leads off in the last of the second. Skowron on deck and Boyer to follow. Berra hitting .290. Estrada to the windup, and the pitch curve inside, ball 1. The Orioles have won their last 2 games after losing 5 straight. They're 11-6 on the road, and have won 16 and lost 11 since they lost 5 of their first 6. The 1-0 pitch to Yogi. Swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. 3 men chasing it, and the ball will be caught in left field by Dick Williams. And it was a fair ball when he grabbed it. Brooks Robinson, Ron Hansen, Dick Williams went down the line. 2 went down and 1 went over. Now here's the move. Skowron batting .276. 1-0 New York, second inning. Williams in left, Brandon center, Earl Robinson in right, playing Moose straight away. Chuck Estrada to the windup, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Frank Crissetti coaching at third, Wally Moses at first. Brooks Robinson at third, Ron Hansen short, Jerry Adair at second, Jim Gentile at first, Gus Triandos catching. The 1-0 offering on the way, curve outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the 2-0 offering. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Chuck Estrada, good fastball pitcher. throws the ball at a little better than 90 miles an hour. The 2-1 pitch, inside and high, ball 3. Steve Barber in the second game, he throws one between 95 and 96 miles an hour. So they'll be looking a lot of speed today. Of course, these fellas change up. They got good curves, sliders. Now the 3-1 offering to the Moose. High for ball 4, and he walks. That allows Cleet Boyer to take his turn, batting .247. Bobby Richardson on deck. One nothing New York, second inning. Estrada checks the runner. The pitch to Boyer. Swung on, ground ball, hits the short. Hansen over to Adair. Adair on to Gentile, DP. Got the double play. And the side is retired as the Orioles come up for their 40th double play of the season. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 2 innings of play, New York 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left on. The Orioles 3 up and 3 down over the first couple of innings. A reminder that tomorrow night the Orioles will be here, 8 o'clock. The Boston Red Sox come in Wednesday afternoon for the first time this season. And Thursday night, while the White Sox will be here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, the Ladies' Day, and a doubleheader next Sunday to wind up the current homestand. Before we go to the third inning, we'll pause for station identification.
You are in tune with Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 26 minutes past 2.
White Sox, Red Sox, 1-1 and 2.5 innings. And in the National League, Pittsburgh 2, Philadelphia nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee nothing, Cincinnati nothing at the end of an inning and a half. St. Louis nothing, Chicago nothing at the end of an inning and a half, and the only games we have to report on at present. Earl Robinson is the batter. A 6', 190-pounder. Played with Spokane last year. Hitting .205. Ford into the windup and the pitch. High, ball 1. Adair on deck. Estrada to follow. Whitey again to the windup. The pitch, change-up is inside the knees. Ball 2, 2-0. Threw him a breaking pitch for his change-up. Now the 2-0 pitch. Fastball hit foul off first base, out of play. Strike 1, 2-1. Ball landing in the lower stands. Whitey was delighted as we arrived by plane from Cleveland yesterday. His family met him. His 2 sons in baseball uniform. The older of the 2 had played in Little League action. Found out they played 2 games and split even. 2 balls, 1 strike. Forward to the windup and the pitch. Curve high. Ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 offering on the way. It's low, ball 4, and Earl Robinson becomes the first Oriole to reach base. Opens the third with a walk. And here's Jerry Adair, batting .282. 22 from 78. 4 homers, 10 runs batted in. Jerry Adair, a 6'1", 175-pounder, 25 years old. 24, will be 25 in December. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Miami mostly last year. Right-hand hitter. Ford's pitch misses. Ball one. 0-1. 1-0. Ford set, and the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Strike one, 1-1. New York 1, Baltimore nothing. Third inning. Paul Richards over at the corner of the Oriole dugout. Just checks the wind, blowing out toward left. Blowing from right in and out toward left. Up high. Robinson leads off first. Ford pitches, and it's swung on. There's a fly ball out into right center. Mantle drifts over, under it, waiting, and takes it. One down, and now here's Chuck Estrada coming up. He's at 1 for 14. Dick Williams on deck. Estrada, a rookie last year, made the All-Star squad and won 18 victories, the most of any Oriole pitcher last season. Whitey ready. And the pitch. Swung on. It's driven down the right field line. There's Maris breaking over and making the catch. Estrada crossed him up and swung and hit a liner down the right field line. Maris shading to the line, figuring he wouldn't pull Whitey. Had to break quickly and angled backwards to take the ball. 2 down, and here now is Dick Williams. Tapped out in the first inning of the box. Incidentally, any time that Richards wants to rest Gentile, he can play Dick Williams at first base. Williams, very versatile performer. Yankees had a hankering for him earlier this season. Whitey Ford ready, and the pitch to the right-hand batter is low outside. Ball one. You may have read about it, but then the Yankees figured, well, it's another trade with Kansas City. It's all right, though. Baltimore made it. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch. Swung on, hit between first and second to right field for a base hit. Robinson turns second and holds up as Maris fires in. Cut off by Kubek. Dick Williams singles to right. This is the second time that Williams has been with Baltimore. He was with them, traded away, and brought back again. Jim Busby, who hits the box in the first inning, comes up. Williams came up with the Dodgers in 52. Went to Baltimore in 56, to Cleveland in 57, back to Baltimore in 58, Kansas City, and back to Baltimore. Jim Busby, 2 on, 2 out. The pitch. Swung on, hit foul, out of play, back to first, the upper deck, strike one. Yankees 1, Orioles nothing. It's the third inning. Night game tomorrow night with the Orioles. Earl Robinson moves off second. Dick Williams off first. Ford into the stretch. And a pickoff. Bluff of a pickoff throw. He didn't throw. 0-1 the count. Now the stretch by Whitey. And the pitch. Inside. Ball one. He fired one in tight, but he didn't get the inside corner as he had hoped. A 1-1 count on Busby. He wanted to get that second strike. The veteran Jim Busby hits the ball to all fields. Chokes up on that bat. He just wants to get a piece of it. Runners lead away. Whitey delivers, and the ball is swung on and hit into right center for a base hit. Maris heads on a hop, throws toward third, cut off. Scoring is Robinson. On the third went Williams. Ball game tied up at 1-1. So the base on balls came home to roost as Busby lines a single to right center, sending Williams to third and bringing up Brooks Robinson, who flied to right center in the first inning, batting .343. Jim Busby driving in his first run of the season with his second hit. Runners leading away from first and third. And the pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball to deep right center. Maris is under it and makes the catch, and the side's retired. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on at the end of 2.5 innings. Baltimore 1, New York 1. 1-1 make 2. And the 2 things you want in a beer are lightness and true lager flavor. And that's what you get in Ballantine. Yes, sir. To really refresh you, a beer must offer lightness plus flavor. You make the 1 + 1 + 1 sign, the 3-ring sign, and ask the man for Ballantine. Your first swallow and everyone to follow tells you Ballantine is the light beer with true lager flavor. When you drop by your tavern, hope you'll try some Ballantine beer. The month of May is National Tavern Month. So, make an extra visit. Say hello to the boss and the man behind the stick. They're real nice guys. They're in business to earn a living, of course, but nonetheless, it is a fact that these fellows kind of listen to your problems, offer a little advice. Occasionally, if you're a real regular customer, they'll buy one now and then. So Ballantine takes this opportunity to salute a place of friendship and good cheer. Your neighborhood tavern. Bobby Richardson leads off in the last of the third, hitting .221. Chuckaluck Estrada into the windup and the pitch. Misses the outside corner, ball 1. Fastball's his stock and trade. He's got a good curve and changeup. As they say, to confound and confuse the hitters. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-all, third inning. The right-hander flips and Richardson takes it outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Estrada again with the windup. Here's the pitch, and it's over. Strike 1, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. It's a high fly ball into deep right center. Busby races over under it and makes the catch. 1 away. Bobby's having a rough time getting his hit now. Now Whitey Ford comes up. 3 for 17, 176. Outfield shortens up straight away. And the pitch outside, ball 1. The wind is blowing at a real good pace from right out to left. I don't know whether we can get from the studio the actual wind velocity. The 1-0 pitch high outside, ball 2. I mean, it's enough to be a factor on things hit high. The 2-0 pitch in there. Strike 1, 2-1. 2-1 pitch swung on, foul back, out of play. Two-two. 1-1 the score, last of the third. Two balls, two strikes. And the pitch. Curve is over. Called strike three. Whitey Ford looks at the curveball. Third strikeout for Estrada. And with two down, here's Tony Kubek. Grounded to second in the first inning. Gus Triandos goes out to the mound to talk to Estrada. Probably talking over with him which of his pitches are working best and how to mix up the patterns. Sometimes one pitch is not working too well for you, so you concentrate on the other. The delivery to Tony Kubek. High, ball one. And the pitch. High, ball two. We've gotten word the wind is blowing 8 miles an hour, but it looks to me like it's blowing more than 8 here because those flags are straight out and whipping. I don't know how many miles an hour a wind would have to blow to make flags, stand up and whip. 2-0 pitch is swung on, hit between first and second to right field for a base hit. Earl Robinson throws back in. And Kubek collects the second hit off Estrada. Now Hector Lopez, whom Ralph Houk is hoping will soon snap out of his hitting doldrums, batting .200. Gave him a couple days rest. To use the National Tavern Month expression, I'll book those flags that are whipping more than 8 miles an hour. Now the delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Two away. Estrada checks the runner. There he goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down is in. Gets away from Hansen into center, and Kubek gets up and goes on to third. That ball hits Hansen's glove as if it curved on him and bounced off and into center. So we'll wait the decision of the ruling fathers in the scoring department, only to make it official. The throw looked good. I mean, it wasn't a wild throw. Hansen seemed to, his spike seemed to catch or something. He sort of leaned to his left. He's charged with the error. An error charge to Braun Hansen. An assist for Triandos. The pitch is high and inside to Lopez. Ball one, 1-2. It's an assist for Triandos and an error charge to Hansen. No stolen base. Throw had the runner beaten. Two outs. We'll see whether it's of any import or not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 all, last of the third. Estrada's pitch swung on, lined into center for a base hit. Scoring Kubek, and it's 2-1 New York. So it was of importance. as Hector Lopez rifled his liner to center. Driving in his 9th run of the season and bringing up Roger Maris, who homered in the first inning. His 4th in 4 games. Seven the season. 2 outs, 1 on, 2-1 New York. And the pitch. It's inside, ball 1. Estrada again sets. And the pitch. Curve over. Strike 1, 1-1. It's got to be more than 8 miles an hour blowing in from right to left. Those flags are whipping. As the Weather Bureau in Central made it, flags in Central Park is blowing 8 miles an hour. But they picked up some velocity from down there up to here. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit off Gentile's knee. He picks the ball up, throws to first base, too late. And Maris is there. Scores a base hit for Rod. A hard shot off the knee of Gentile. With 2 outs, up comes Mantle, struck out in the first inning. Batting .308. Two on, 2 out, 1 in, 2-1 New York, 3rd inning. Gentile shaking his leg with that ball, hit him on the knee. Estrada into the stretch, 2 away. Pitch to Mantle, outside, ball 1. Keeping that ball away from him. Right-hander to the stretch. Runners lead away from first and second. 2 outs. And the pitch. Way outside and high. Ball 2. 2-0. Try to curve, but it slipped. Two balls, no strikes. Lopez leads off second. Maris off first. Estrada to the stretch. And the pitch. High, ball 3, 3-0. Mick's taking a look at Crissetti to see if Ralph will have him swinging 3-0. If he wants to. And the 3-0 pitch. It's high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Lopez moves to third, Maris to second, Mantle to first, and up comes Yogi Berra. Hitting .290 when the game began. He flied to left field in the second inning. 3 on and 2 out. Now Estrada calls Triandos out. Situation like that, they gamble against, if you want to look at the worst thing that could happen to a pitcher, he's only gambling with 1 run. They want to give Mantle much to hit at. And he figured his home run potential is greater than Berra's, percentage-wise. And so he's gambling only 1 run at most. In the meantime, taking the percentage in his favor. 2 out. 3 on, 1 in, 2-1 New York. The windup, the pitch. Yogi takes it outside, ball 1. Started him off with a curve outside. Three men lead away, the windup and the pitch. It's low, ball 2, 2-0. Lopez is on third. Maris is on second. Mantle on first. Two nothing count on Barrow. Now a big pitch. Yogi will be gunning for it. Estrada to the windup and the pitch. And it is swung on, and a fly ball is hit into left center. Williams is under it, makes the catch, and the side's retired. Yogi went for a high pitch. 1 run. 3 hits. No errors, and 3 men left on. At the end of 3 innings of play, New York 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left on. Baltimore 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. Oh, there's a lot of excitement for 1 run. When you can't get out to the ballpark, your neighborhood tavern serves as a perfect place to watch the game and enjoy the crisp refresher, too. Visit your neighborhood tavern during National Tavern Month. Tony Martin, who was kind enough to attend our Old Timers Day last year for free after he finishes his Waldorf engagement, will play Decoration Day weekend at the Concord Hotel, Kiamisha Lake, New York, where the 3rd annual Tony Martin Hole-in-One golf tournament will take place for President Kennedy's People to People sports program. And speaking of people to people, Phil Rizzuto is about to walk in. Let me tell you quickly, Chicago, Boston, 1 all into 4. And in the National League, Philadelphia got 9 runs in the 3rd inning. Go ahead of Pittsburgh, 9-2, end of 3. Cincinnati 1, Milwaukee, nothing, end of 3. Cubs 1, Cards, nothing, end of 2.5. We'll be talking to you in the second game as we go over to the TV side.
The first pitch to Gentile is a curve low outside, ball 1. Of course, Yo gets most of his base hits on bad pitches, though. That's what people forget about. Jim Gentile will line out to Bobby Richardson. Bobby making a nice leaping catch of his line drive. It's a high fly to right center field. Roger Maris and Mantle over. Mantle coming in now, way in, and makes the catch. Man, that wind is blowing from right field over to left field. And Mickey had to come in about 30 feet at the last second to get that high towering fly by Jim Gentile. Flags are blowing straight out on the flagpole in center and on top of the roof here at Yankee Stadium. Brings up Gus Triandos, who popped up to second base in the 2nd inning. Yankees lead 2-1. We're in the top of the 4th. Whitey's pitch, the curve line to left field. Lopez is coming in. He can't get it. Drops in front of him. And Triandos is on with a line single to left field. Hit number 3 off Whitey Ford. Brings up the shortstop, Braun Hansen, who bounced to 3rd in the 2nd inning. The run the Yankees scored in the bottom of the 3rd is unearned because of Hansen's error on Kubek's attempted steal, but they all count. Fastball low inside, ball 1. Scarron holding first against Triandos. Stretched by Whitey. Curve is low, ball 2, 2-0. About 99 chances to 1, the threat of Triandos attempting to steal second. Of course, there's always a possibility of a hit-and-run play to keep out of the possible double play. But Big Gus has never been able to run real good. Of course, with his power, most times you don't have to run hard when you hit the ball. 2 balls, no strikes on Ron Hansen. Whitey checks the sign from Yogi. Here's a stretch. The pitch is in there, strike 1 call. Ball popped out of Yogi's glove, but not far enough to allow Gus to advance. 2-1 the count. Still plenty of time for you fans to get out here for this first game and the big second game, which will follow here at Yankee Stadium. Curve is fouled just below it, and the count's evened at 2-2. On deck is Earl Robinson. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Triandos with a very short leadoff first. Fastball swung and missed, strike 3. Got him on a low pitch down around the knees. First strikeout for Whitey in the ball game, and it brings up Earl Robinson, who walked and eventually came around to score in the 3rd inning. Scored on a single by Dick Williams and then a single by Busby. Right-hand hitter. 2 outs. 2-1 the Yankees lead. Top of the 4th. Fastball is low. Ball 1. Whitey sets. His pitch is low. Gets away from Yogi. There goes Gus down to second. And he's going to make it. And let's see what they call that. A pass ball charged to Yogi Berra. Allowing Triandos to go to second base. So now the Birds have the tying run at second base with 2 outs and a count of 2 balls, no strikes on Earl Robinson, the right-hand hitting right fielder. Whitey shakes off one sign. Now he's ready. Stretches. His pitch is fouled in back of the plate. And it's a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Yankees hoping to get on winning ways here today against Baltimore. They've lost 4 in a row and 9 out of their last 12. Ready now for the 2-1 delivery. Here it is, and it swung and it missed, strike 2 as Whitey took a little bit off his curveball. Had Robinson way out in front. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Whitey sets. Pitch is high, ball 3, and it's a full count, 3-2. On deck, Jerry Adair, the second baseman. Now the payoff pitch to Earl Robinson. Low, ball 4. He walked Robinson for the second time, trying to curve him on a 3-2 pitch, and that's only the second walk given up by Whitey. Brings up Jerry Adair, who flied to center field in the 3rd inning. Tall right-hand hitter. Played shortstop through most of his professional career. Saw this youngster play winter ball down in Puerto Rico, where he had a fine season. Paul Richardson trying him at second base. So now the Birds have runners at first and second with 2 out. The Yankees leading 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Quite a bit of paper blowing around on the infield and outfield with the wind that's whipping up here today at the stadium. Triandos at second, Robinson at first. Here's the stretch. Curve is fouled back on the screen. 1 strike. Whitey rubs up the new ball. Yankee outfield straight away. Mantle not too deep in center. Hector Lopez deep in left. Maris fairly shallow in right field. Here's the stretch by Whitey. The pitch is fouled back in the upper deck. 0-2. Marv Breeding, who was a regular second baseman for Baltimore last year and who had a fine year, not playing today. Jerry Adair has been outplaying him so far this season. That's why Breeding's riding the pine. All right, now ready for the two-strike delivery. A fly ball at straightaway center field. Mickey Mantle drifting back under it and makes the catch. That ball was hit right on the nose as he golfed a low fastball. For Baltimore in the top of the fourth, no runs, one hit, no Yankee errors, 2 men left, and the score at the end of 3.5 innings, New York 2 and Baltimore 1.
Oh, dub-dub-dee-dub-dee-I-do. Oh, what a golfer is Joe. With a wild looping hook, he drives into a brook, and that's how his game always goes. It goes. That's how his game always goes. But some consolation is near in a cool glass of Valentine beer. Yes, back at the club, he forgets he's a dub. So sunny and mellow, it glows, it glows. So sunny and mellow, he knows. To be crisp, a beer must be icily light, with true lager flavor, precisely right. Lively golden, crystally clear, crisp refresher, Valentine beer.
People know quality when they taste it, and that's why over 5 million glasses of Valentine beer are enjoyed every day. Valentine, America's finest since 1840. And right now we'll pause for station identification.
You are in tune to Quality Radio 1460. This WOKO Albany, New York. WOKO time 6 minutes past.
For the Yankees in the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Bill Scarron, Clete Boyer, and Bobby Richardson to face Chuck Estrada. Scarron walked in the second inning. Yankee 2, Baltimore 1. His first pitch to Scarron. Now back on the screen. Moose was telling us on the plane ride back from Cleveland yesterday. He had so many good pitches to hit in the Cleveland. And he just hasn't been able to get the ball. You can tell when Moose gets a good pitch, he doesn't get off. He walks the box and hands on his hip. One strike pitch, changeup hit high in the air and back of first base. Adair back to second baseman, under it, and the catch. Scarron pops up to second base. One away, Clete Boyle, who bounced to play in the inning. Deck Bobby Richardson. Pitch the ball high inside, ball 1. Paul Richardson scored a game that Estrada has a tender right arm. He's not throwing tender, I'll tell you that. 1-0. His pop foul back in the other out of play. One and one on Boyer. Joe DeMaggio gets to the Yankees here today, sitting in dancing box. 1-1. Hit it down. Picked it up. No, he handled it. A hard hit ground ball that Robinson knocked down, went to pick up, and out of the throw, dropped it again. There it touched to Brooks Robinson. And you see, well, no matter how good a ball, no matter how hard it is, but he got that in between hops. And Boyer is on. Richardson decided to jump field in the two hours ball game, both on the left side of the Baltimore infield. Gentile holds first against Boyer. Here's the stretch. There's Boyer. Is hit right back to an easy play. As Richardson, he hit on the top. It looked like Estrada caught the ball fly as it tripped over the mound. Boyer, who was going easily, slid in the second. Bob is out. From here, it looked like he hit a little silver liner back of the box. But it took one stop in front of the plate that we couldn't see. Right through Estrada. The hit and run on. Brings up Whitey forward with Boyer at second. Whitey pulled out on strike in the third inning. The right-handed pitch. The ground ball up the middle and through. Base hit to center field. Here comes Boyer around third. No, not but Sutter picks up. And the Yankees lead 3-1. So 2 errors have cost it. Baltimore to the Yankees took advantage of both moves to score a run. One more driving in a run. Single up the middle. Driving lead Boyer, the 5th hit of Estrada, and the Yankees lead 1. Whitey hit his 4th run out of the year and his 4th base hit. Tony Kubek bounced to second, single to right, scored, and attempting to steal second. Hansen dropped the canvas allowing Kubek to the third. Lopez's single. To Kubek, change-up is in the ball. One, look at the ball. Last he finds it okay and puts it back to Estrada. He pulls his jacket on base. The stretch and the pitch is hit down the left field line. And Kerr's foul at the last second. Deep in the left corner. And that ball call. Strike on Kubek, nothing in 2. Whitey working slowly down the base. Stop, a right hand. And the both down. This run also will be an unearned run. Two-strike pitch to Kubek. Line to right field in there for a hit. Earl Wilson up with fourth corner third base, and Kubek makes the turn in the whole time. A single to right center field by Tony Kubek. Hit number 6 off Estrada. He's at the first of the out, and Hector Lopez the batter. Hector struck out in the 6th. Single to center to drive in Kubek third. Now with 9 RBI. 3-1, the Yankees leading. Just hit the ground ball to stop Hansen up with it. Flips to a dare covering the 4th back. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th, 1 run on 2. 1 Baltimore error, 2 men left. Score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees 3 runs, 6 hits, no error. Baltimore 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors.
Now this is Bob DeLay and we're on the rest of this game brought to you by Atlantic Refining Company and your offer you the gas cleans your dirt and keeps it clean.
The Yankees leading 3-1. We'll wait and see if Estrada, who is scheduled to hit first, will. Paul Richards has had West Dock down on the both ends for Baltimore. Whitey is just getting out to the mound. Remember, he was at third base when the last out was made. Went back to the dugout, hung up his jacket. Uses power for a moment. Now the little left-hander who is going for his 5th win. He's 4-1. Begins lobbing the ball down to Berra. First base is Skowron. Second baseman is Richardson. Shortstop is Kubek. Third baseman Goya. And Estrada is going to hit. Moved up there now by the plate. Lopez is in left field. The center fielder is Mantle, and the right fielder is Roger Maris. Jimmy Adea coaching at first. We've got a couple of name duplications on the Baltimore squad. There's Jimmy Adea, the first base coach, and the young second baseman is Jerry Adea. Then there's third baseman Brooks Robinson and right fielder Earl Robinson. Estrada has 1 hit this year. In the 3rd inning, he lined out to right fielder Maris. This is the start of a tremendous week. After this doubleheader, a night game with the Orioles tomorrow evening. Tuesday's open, then the Red Sox are here Wednesday afternoon and Thursday night. First pitch, curveball over for the strike, hand high. And after the 2 with the Red Sox, the White Sox come boiling in. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is later day, and a doubleheader Sunday, a week from today. Full curve low inside to the batter's feet. Right-hand hitter, Estrada. 1 ball, 1 strike. Estrada's a freshman last year, won 18. Throws the ball hard, but his manager told us before the game today he's had a tender arm this year. Swings, hits it on 1 sharp bounce right back to Whitey, who finds the ball was stuck in the webbing of his glove. He had to look a second time to find it. Then he throws over to Skowron, plenty of time. That's what the fans oohed about. Whitey had the ball in the glove, but then was still looking for it. And here is Dick Williams, a very handy fellow to have on your ball cloud. Singled his last trip. Baltimore was busy making its 1 run. Williams plays third base, first base, for the outfield. Swing to the ground ball, too short. Kubek up with it. They throw over to first in time. We have 2 quick ones. 2 down, nobody on. And here is Jim Busby, who singled with 2 out following Williams' hit in the 3rd inning, and that scored Robinson, who had gotten on with a walk. Busby, during the spring at the start of the season, was listed as a coach. After the season got underway, they reinstated him on the active list. Whitey's sharp curve is over. Ball strike. The right and left fielders are straight away, and Mantle is giving Busby left center. Mickey has moved pretty well over toward right center. Busby swings and bounce ball to short. 2 big bills, 2 back over to Skowron, and Busby who can run is out by 4 strides. So 1-2-3, Whitey had him hitting it in the dirt. And the score in the first game, which is now official, the Yankees 3 and the Orioles 1.
You know, even though the calendar tells us spring is officially here, winter can still be hanging on in the dirt-filled oil lubricating your car's engine. That's why now is the time to remember engines need spring cleaning too. So get rid of winter-weary motor oil that can no longer protect your engine. Stop at your Atlantic dealers for a change to the oil that comes in the bright gold can. High detergent, Atlantic Premium Motor Oil. And have him install a clean new oil filter. Then you'll be sure your engine is properly lubricated, free from dirt, and ready for the new driving season. See your Atlantic dealer soon for a new oil filter and a change to Atlantic Premium Motor Oil in the bright gold can. It's the high detergent motor oil that spring cleans your engine and keeps your car on the go.
Last half of the 5th coming up. It'll be Maris, who has a home run and a single, Mantle, and then Berra. Estrada getting ready as they throw through down to second base in the catcher. Phil has already reported that Joe DiMaggio is here today. We have 3 generations of Adams here today. Bob Fischel just called over to say that Colonel Hank Adams, who is the athletic director up at West Point, is here. And his father, retired General Adams, is here, and then the Colonel's young son. Maris takes the curve low inside, down to the kneecap. ball one. Roger has hit a home run in each of his last 4 games. Went into the ball game at 234, and he's helped himself with the home run and the single. The single was he handcuffed the first baseman with it. Swings, and there's a high foul out of play. Back into the third deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frank Mazzetti coaching at third. Wally Moses coaching at first. The Yankee pitching coach, Johnny Stain, is in the dugout, and the bullpen coach, Jim Hegan, is down in the bullpen. Estrada, who is a graceful pitcher to watch, smooth motion, delivers, misses with a fastball just outside ball 2. 2-1. When his arm is completely sound, he can breeze that ball just about with anybody. Particularly, not so much for 1 pitch, but over the 9 innings. Change of pace. Just outside ball 3. Pull the string and miss. Right-hander deals, and Maris hits a high fly into short right center, and Robinson comes on and makes the catch. Right fielder. I think he got that one pretty well down on the handle. And here's Mantle. I think he struck out in the first inning. Saw nothing to swing at and walked in the third. Hitting 306. Curve is bunted right back to the mound. The pitcher takes it, goes to first, and Mantle is easily off. Running for a base hit, of course. But instead of dragging it or pulling it with him, get it straight back to the middle. Now we have Barra, who on each of his 2 trips has hit fly balls to left fielder Williams. Williams stays fairly straight away in left. Center and the right fielder is moving over toward right, opening up a gap in left center. Right side of the infield deep. Pitch just outside, ball 1. We have a strong wind today, which is blowing from right field to left. And the ball that is hit high is visibly moved by it. Pitch is in there for the strike. 1-1. Yankees leading 3-1, taking advantage of 2 Baltimore errors. Change of pace is outside, ball 2. Maris hit a home run in the first inning. In the third, when Kubek went down on a hit-and-run play, and Lopez swung and missed at the plate, the throw had Kubek beaten at second, but the throw got off the shortstop's glove. And let Tony not only live, but go on to third, and he was scored on a base hit by Lopez. It was run 2. Barra swings the ground ball to the second baseman. Adair over to Gentile, and that is all for Yogi. The third Yankee run, Boyer got on to an error at third and was promptly scored with 2 out on a base hit by Ford. Totals into 4. The Yankees 3 runs, 6 hits and no errors. The Orioles 1 run, 3 hits and 2 errors. Correction, end of 5 innings. End of 5 innings. 3-1 favor New York. Now let's check some of these other ball games. The end of 5 1/2. First game up at Boston. It is the White Sox with their veteran right-hander Wynn 2, and the Red Sox 1. They started D-Lock and Salad replaced him in the 5th. Steve with a home run, and Pagliarone a home run for Boston. Win, if he should notch this one, it would be number 289 for him. That's what he's after. Washington plays 2 out on the coast at L.A. Cleveland has just started out at Minnesota. The Indians are tied with the Twins in position in the league. End of half an inning, Cleveland 1. Hawkins for Cleveland and Ramos for Minnesota. The start of a doubleheader. First place Tigers out of Kansas City has been delayed because of rain. In the National League, at the end of 3 innings of a single, Philadelphia 9. They got them all in the third, and Pittsburgh 2. End of 4 innings, first game, Cincinnati 4 and Milwaukee 2. First game, St. Louis at Chicago, end of 4, is tied 2-2. Single, Los Angeles, San Francisco later. Now here's Brooks Robinson, first up in the 6th. Takes the pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Fellow's hitting 340. He's 0 for 2. Swing, there is a ground ball hit to short. Kubek is up with it, over to Schauer, and Brooks is up. 1 up, 1 away in the 6th. Yankees leading in this first game 3-1. And now here is Gentile, who has been nothing less than sensational. Got 12 home runs, 40 runs batted in. He's gone in the record books already by hitting grand slam home runs on successive at-bats. Knocked in all told 9 runs in that game. Pitches on the outside, ball 1. The record for RBIs is 12 in a ball game. Sonny Jim Bottomley did that years ago when he was playing with the Cardinals over at Ebbets Field. 3-1 New York. Gentile cuts and misses. Whitey had a change off of his fastball high. 1-1. Gentile takes a ripple. He's playing with a bad leg. He missed 4 games this week because of the leg. And the Orioles lost all 4 of them. He got him back in there. 1-1 pitch swung on as a high drive deep after Mantle in right center. Mickey waiting under it. Makes the catch. 2 down, and Gentile is 0 for 3 today. Now we have Big Gus Triandos, right-hand hitting catcher. Single his last trip, and he's 1 for 2. Luman Harris pushing at third. Jimmy Adair down at first. Outfield is back. Shaded toward left. Triandos really plants himself. He's a big man. Swings at a fastball. Under the shoulders on the outside portion of the plate. Strike 1. Whitey is faster at times than most people think he is. Work. Swung on the 1 bouncer to short. Kubek takes it. Plenty of time to throw out Triandos. Where he might put it halfway down the line. But Yogi makes his squawks in such good nature that they pass. And in the third game, end of 5.5, it remains the Yankees 3 and the Orioles 1.
You know, it takes a little more than a can of wax, some clean rags, and elbow grease to get your car ready for spring. To really enjoy the new driving season, remember your engine needs spring cleaning too. You see, winter stop-and-go driving can overwork the motor oil and oil filter that protect your engine. The oil filter becomes clogged, and the oil itself is often saturated with winter dirt. That's why now, at the beginning of the new driving season, it makes sense to drain out dirty oil and replace it with high-detergent Atlantic Premium Motor Oil. Remember, engines need spring cleaning too, so stop at your Atlantic dealer soon for a new oil filter and a change to the oil in the bright gold can. Atlantic Premium Motor Oil to keep your car on the go.
Well, we're getting set to go for the last half of the 6th inning. Sharon is up there, and Estrada is ready to confront him. Fastball is high inside, ball 1. The Moose walks in the 2nd inning and then pops the second base for 4. He's been having a little trouble with his base hits of late. Pitch is swung on as a high foul deep into the stands back at first, and this gives us time to pause for station identification.
This is Quality Modern Radio, 1460 on your dial, WOKO, Albany, New York. WOKO time, 28 minutes to 4.
Back in time, Estrada New ball. It's a different ball. Another ball. Pitching 1-1. Curve low outside. Ball 2. You folks who may be just learning about baseball, a brand new baseball never gets into a major league game. Because the umpires rub them up with special mud and water before the ball game to take the new gloss off of them. Scarn hits a high foul out of play, deep back to first. Strike 2. And the idea for rubbing them up is so that the ball, brand new ball that's never been rubbed, is a very dangerous thing because it is liable to sail. It could be very dangerous to a hitter. And also a pitcher cannot hold the ball as well with a gloss on it. He can hold it much better when it has been properly rubbed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander starter delivers and Scarron strikes out. He buzzed the fastball right off of his hand. The Moose walking over to the dugout. I wonder if you remember what Dizzy told him. Diz was visiting with him about his current little slump before the game. And he says, now, Moose, he said that maybe the best way to get out of a batting slump is laugh your way out. Don't go back in that dugout with tears. Go back in there grinning. But I couldn't see any smile right then. These base hits are very serious things to Mr. Scarron. In fact, it's a worrying season for him. Here's Boyer, who is 0 for 2. Swings and misses at the fastball. Strike 1. When the Moose is hitting, he is worrying when he'll stop hitting. And then when he is not hitting, of course, it's obvious he's worried. 4 balls, 1 strike. 1 down. Curve in the dirt, low outside, ball 1. Weststock was up 2 innings ago in the bullpen for Baltimore, and now Dick Hyde is up. The fellow that throws underhand that used to be with Washington. He's just been brought back up in the International League for Baltimore. Pitch is in there, sharp curve for strike 2. Big Walter Dropo was released by the Orioles to make room for Hyde. The Yankees made a change yesterday. Duke Marsling sent out to Richmond, and outfielder Jack Reed recalled, and he is here to take batting practice today. Curve low outside, ball 2. 2-2. Boyer banged into a double play in the second inning. Then got on when third baseman Robinson simply couldn't pick up ground ball in the 4th. Came around on an infield out by Richardson and a single by Ford. Orioles have made 2 errors, and the Yankees have picked up 2 runs thereby. There's a line drive base hit into left field down in the corner. And there's Boyer on his way for second. Moses has sent him. The throw from Williams comes into third, and it's a double for Boyer. Line double to left. This is hit number 7 for the Yankees. And now here is Richardson. Fly ball to center fielder Busby in the third, who was the last-minute starter. Jackie Brandt, who has the highest batting percentage on the Orioles, with a bad hand, and at the last moment couldn't go. And then on a hit-and-run play, Richardson hit a ball on a sharp bounce back to the mound and got Boyer over to second base. They had started the runner. 1 down, runner at second. High inside curve, ball 1. Cuzzetti hollering down to Boyer to remind him only 1 out. And if it's a ground ball hit ahead of you, don't come over. After straight away on Bobby. Who hits a high foul over by the Yankee dugout. Let's see, Triando's coming over, and he can't quite get it. The ball's dropping in the Yankee dugout, hitting the second step. And Triandos, had he gone any more, would have taken quite a fall. Estrada comes set, runner at second. Deals, Change of pace. There's a high foul ball alongside third, close to the stands. Robinson goes over, leans in, and he can't quite get it. One and two. Larry Knapp is plate umpire. John Rice at first. John Stevens at second. And Harry Swart, first-year umpire in the league, is on the line back at third. 1 and 2. Starter's pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 2. Let's see, Knapp is walking out to the mound. He's saying something to Estrada, I think. Second. Let's see, here's Paul Richards in the ball coming out of the Baltimore dugout. Estrada has had a tender arm. Now, Richards may be coming out to ask him. It looks as though Estrada winced on that last pitch. He certainly had an extra arm motion about it. But the manager's job is to not let a player hurt himself, especially a pitcher, no matter what the pitcher may feel. And let's see, they're going to let him throw a couple of pitches to, I think Trianos is kneeling back at the plate. They've gotten permission for him to try a couple of pitches. These, of course, are unofficial. He did hurt his arm, apparently, on that last pitch. See there, he's trying a second pitch. Well, he says okay, and Richards says okay. And I do not believe this counts as one of the, as a one-time a manager can go out and talk to the pitcher, because that's what Knapp was looking back in the dugout. Richards must have asked him, can I come out because of his arm? Knapp said yes. The 2-2 pitch is swung on a ground ball to the second base. Adair up with it, goes to first to Gentile. Richardson is out, and Boyer, with the ball hit behind him, moves over to third. Now we have Whitey Ford, who was 2 men out. Scored Boyer with the Yankees' third run in the fourth inning. That was Whitey's 4th hit this year. He has as many hits as he has games won. And right now, he's trying to go for 5. Don't both count. He's a tough little man up there with that bat. Boyer ready to move on anything. 2 down is the runner at third. Try to work. Fastball over the inside for a called strike. There's nothing the matter with his arm then. Nothing in 1. Pitch. Curve swung on and missed. And White was really crossed up. He started to swing, tried to check, and he almost wound up breaking his wrist. Curveball is something. I remember something Bert Shotton used to say when he was managing in Brooklyn. 2-strike pitch, curve low inside, ball 1. Shotton says, when that fella invented the curveball, he took a lot of the joy out of the game. One ball, 2 strikes. I think the man that they credit with throwing the first curve was Candy Cummings. Fastball, high outside, ball 2. 2 and 2. Outfield is not deep on Whitey. Laid back into left. Infield with 2 outs. Normal depth. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball way wide. Ball 3. Now, Estrada has run out the string with Whitey. Three-two count. Kubek waiting on deck has had hits his last two times. Estrada, sophomore right-hander, pitches, and Whitey swinging, fouls it back. Pitch was in there. Still 3-2. Tall young right-hander in his second year in organized ball, Roland Sheldon, draws the starting assignment for the second game idea. His opponent will be the left-hander, sophomore Steve Barber. 3-2 pitch, swung on as a high fly that Busby is under in center field. Waiting, and he takes it. That's it. Call for the Beard. Warriors double was not cashed. No runs, one hit. 6 inning totals, first game. 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Orioles. The difference has been the Yankees' ability to hit behind 2 Baltimore infield errors. Runs 2 and 3 are unearned. Bob Shepard over the PA, who does such an able job, and at the department out here at the big ballpark, telling the big crowd, which I'm sure is the biggest of the year. I think it's bigger than last Sunday. Of course, you can get fooled looking at the triple-deck stadium unless you move up and down where you can see all 3 levels distinctly. About the big games coming up this next week. The Orioles, who be in here tomorrow night. Strong ball club, very attractive ball club. Then the Red Sox, always fine attraction here. The New Englanders will be down here Wednesday afternoon, Thursday night. And, of course, the Chicago White Sox with their talent. They'll be in here Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is Ladies' Day, and a doubleheader Sunday, week from today. 3-1, favor the Yankees. Speaking of the White Sox, they are holding their 2-1 lead at the end of 6 innings, first game up at Boston. At the end of an inning, first game, Cleveland is leading at Minnesota 1-0. And here is shortstop Braun Hansen, who is 0 for 2. He's a real playmaker. Delivers as a hot one bouncer to Kubek at short. He's up with it over the scour and for the out. So we have 1 down. Whitey, as is typical of his games, is getting it to hit primarily on the ground. And here is rookie Earl Robinson, who was secured during the winter from the Los Angeles organization. Takes a half swing and pops it up to short. Kubek backing out onto the left center field grass, makes the catch, and we have 2 up and 2 down. He was trying to lay off the pitch, but he has too far committed himself. Now we have Jerry Adea, freshman second baseman, who also plays shortstop, plays third. In the spring, Richard said, well, that he was going to keep Adea because he wanted to be a utility infielder. He got into second base, and Marv Breeding, who was such a fine second baseman last year, can't get back in. First pitch is a strike. Swings and hits a fly ball out to Lopez in deep left. Hector has it. That's the side. 1, 2, 3. And the score at the end of 6.5 remains the Yankees 3, the Orioles 1.
You know, for many men, a good pipe is one of life's big pleasures. But as every pipe smoker knows, deposits that form in the bowl have to be removed from time to time for a pipe to draw as it should. Well, now, this is also true of the carburetor in your car. Deposits form on the inside walls under normal driving conditions. For best results, these deposits must be removed. Now, removing them can be a tough job, even for an experienced mechanic. But today, it's really very easy when you drive with Atlantic Imperial gasoline. You see, Atlantic Imperial is specially designed to clean your carburetor while you're driving. As it flows through the carburetor, it gradually dissolves and removes the hard deposits and washes them harmlessly away. Then Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps them from forming again. Today, more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial in their cars. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Right up a Winston. Now tell me, can you tell just how big a crowd is from being back here in the stands and the broadcasting booth as well as you could when you were out at short?
Oh, no. No, you because from out at short, you can see the empty seats way in the back underneath the stand.
Did you ever take time out at shortstop to wonder how many people were in?
No.
Tony Kubek base hit his last 2 trips. First up, last of the 7th. The Yankee fans have had their stretch session in the first game, and now they're getting seated again, last after 7th. First game is 3-1 New York. A starter delivers, and Tony swings. There was a change off the fastball, 1-1. Outfield is practically straight away on Tony. The center fielder, Busby, a step or 2 over toward left. Kubek swings and misses with a high fastball, strike 2. Speaking of Estrada having a tender arm, and Richards getting permission to go out and talk to him just now after apparently did something to the arm, and he was pitching to Richardson. 1-2 pitch, fastball high outside, ball 2. I guess that's about the most difficult decision to make. About how do you, an injury pitcher's arm. Sometimes, with a so-called tender arm, you let them pitch and they work it out. And again, they might really hurt it. Which way do you go? 2-2 pitch, fastball high outside, ball 3. Out here a week ago last Sunday, Mantle had the bad leg, which he brought back from the coast. Muscle pull down in the calf of his right leg. He could hardly walk, and Houck was hoping he could get Mickey to get through the first game. I don't think the manager had much hope he could play 2 on that leg. And suddenly in the second game, Mickey is running and even stealing. There's a 5-ball hit to right center field, maybe trouble. It's in for a base hit. Robinson retrieves it, and it's the 3rd straight hit for Quebec. Single to right center. So Tony has 3 of the Yankees' total of 8. And what Mantle did was, according to Houck, is that he just kept playing and he just simply worked the leg out, and it became sound, and he enjoyed running in the second game. Tony against Baltimore now has 9 for 16. That's a percentage of .563 against the Orioles. There's Hector Lopez bunting. And Kubek gets over to second on the sacrifice. The pitcher fields the ball to the second baseman covering. So a single leads off the inning. The sacrifice follows. 1-4 for the retirement of Lopez. And the Yankees lead 3-1. And now have Maris, who is 2 for 3. Let me repeat that again. As Kubek stands at second base, he's had 9 hits and 16 at-bats against the Orioles. Guess they're going to have to change the book on him. Now, Maris, he's got his swing straightened out. Home runs in each of his last 4 games. Takes a full curve over for a strike. Roger has to have the ball examined, and Knapp says to Estrada, throw it into the catch. And Maris must have seen something on it because Knapp immediately throws it out. You must have very sharp eyes to be a major league hitter. But the Yankees leading 3-1. That's good deep and very much around toward right on Maris. Swings on a curve and lines it foul down on the right field corner. Strike 2. Speaking about working out a sore muscle, Houck said that Fog Allen out at Kansas. Of course, Houck is a Kansan. said that he used to believe in that very much in his college coaching. Boy had a bad leg. He said, play him. Two-strike pitch, swung on, grounded, fair inside first base. It's the third hit for Maris. The ball is out in the right field corner. The run is in, two back, and Maris is on with a single. So Roger has got that swing straightened out. It is now 4-1 here to New York. Hit the ball just inside or just over first base. Rice, the umpire, was right down there to call it. Kubek scored. There's no way to stop him. 2 RBIs for Roger, 3 hits. Now we have Mantle at the plate. Maris's RBIs are now 19. Home run 7. There's Mickey hitting above 300. Fastball low outside, ball 1. Outfield deep, very much put right on the switcher, who is batting left-handed. Swings as a ground foul outside first. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little commotion then. That foul ball bounced into the stands and right into the hands of the gentleman. And who got a round of applause from folks sitting around him. And he just got right up and took a full stage foul. Pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, last of the 7. Pitch is swung on and missed. Fastball. Right around the hand. 2-2. Yankees lead is now 4-1. Estrada deals high and inside. Good hard again. Ball 3. 3-2. Pitch, Maris goes, Mantle swinging, fouls it off. So, Houck had him going. Maris can run. You can't play run and hit with Mantle unless you have a man at first base who can run, because while Mickey's liable to hit it out of the park, you're liable not to touch it either, which is the mark of a fellow who hits for great distance. I don't think anybody will ever hit the total number of home runs that Ruth hit, and I don't think anybody will ever have the total strikeouts he had either. There goes Maris again, and it is high outside, ball 4. Base on ball to Mantle. Second time that Estrada has walked him. He's walked 3 also. And here is Berra, who is 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to left. Ground ball to second. Estrada has not been able to pitch a complete game this year. His longest stint has been 7 innings. Yogi swings and grounds it to first baseman Gentile, who goes down to second to shortstop. They get 1. Back to first in time to Gentile. Estrada was coming over the pitcher to cover, and at the last moment he realized that Gentile was back, and so the pitcher slid to put on the brakes. So they got the double play, which to me, I think is the prettiest double play in baseball. That's the first baseman to the shortstop and back to the first baseman again. So it is 1 run for the Yankees on 2 hits. At the end of 7, totals are 4-9-0 for New York, 1-3-2 for Baltimore.
Stop at your Atlantic dealer soon for a clean new oil filter and a change to high detergent Atlantic Premium Motor Oil in the bright gold can to keep your car on the go. Moving now into the top of the 8th inning. As we look around on the Atlantic scoreboard, at the end of 6, the White Sox lead the Red Sox 2-1. Washington and L.A. not yet underway. Cleveland and Minnesota just starting. First inning score, Cleveland 1, Minnesota 0. Detroit and Kansas City have not yet begun. In the National League, the Phillies lead the Pirates 9-6. The game is now in the 6th inning. Cincinnati has a 6-3 lead over Milwaukee, playing in the 7th inning, and playing in the 6th inning, St. Louis and Chicago are tied at 2-2.
Well, this is the top of the 9th, with the Yankees leading 4-2. Jim Gentile, who's 0 for 3 up there, takes the curve outside ball 1. Gentile line to second and fly to center twice. Ground foul outside of first. 1-1. Whitey rubbing up the ball. One ball, 1 strike on Jim Gentile, leading off the top of the 9th. On deck is Gus Triandos. Slow curve is high inside, ball 2, 2-1. A foul ball at the plate, and the count's even at 2-2. Whitey swings into the windup. Side-on fastball, strike 3. He got him on a half swing. The ball was over the plate anyway. And Whitey chalks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And he gets just about the most dangerous slugger right now in the American League. Brings up Gus Triandos, pops to second, single to left, and bounce to short. A base hit to left center field. Jack Reed coming over. Up with it. Triandos holds at first base. Gus lines a single to left center. That's the 6th hit off Whitey Ford. It brings up Braun Hansen. Hansen bounced to third, struck out, and bounced to short. And we're going to have a runner for Gus Triandos. Marv Breeding, the second baseman, will run for Triandos. There's 1 out. The tying run is at the plate. Here's the stretch by Whitey. A line drive right at Kubek to throw to first base. Not in time to get Breeding. Triandos hit that ball right. Rather, Hansen hit the ball right on the button at Tony Kubek. Tony's return throw to first base, not in time to get Breeding.
And here's Earl Robinson, who walked twice, scored once, and then popped to the shortstop. 2 outs in the top of the ninth. A line drive down the right field line, and it's fouled. Fouled by inches. Ball that would have been in there for at least a double. Two men are out. A 1-1 count on the right-hand hitting Earl Robinson. Here's the stretch. A foul back in the upper deck out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whitey's rubbing up the new ball, taking plenty of time out on the mound. There are 2 out here in the top of the ninth. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Fastball is high. Counts even 2-2. Here's the stretch. The pitch is low, ball 3, 3-2. A full count on Earl Robinson. Bob Breeding will be off with the pitch. Here's the stretch. The pitch is strike 3 swinging. Whitey struck him out. Struck out 2 men here in the 9th inning to win the ball game. The Yankees win the first game of the doubleheader, 4-2.
Well, we have the totals for you in just a moment. The Yankees 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 7 left. Baltimore 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and they left 5. Winning pitcher for the Yankees is Whitey Ford, who becomes the first Yankee to go the distance since late in April when Art Ditmar performed the chores. Well, the Yankees got the combination of timely hitting and good pitching, and they reversed themselves over the last 4 ball games by beating the Orioles 4-2. Now we'll have the second game of the doubleheader coming up very shortly, and we hope that you'll be joining us in approximately 20 minutes or so when we'll be going with game number 2. Until then, this is Bob Delaney reminding you that it was all brought to you with the very best wishes of P. Ballantyne and Sons, brewers of the crisp refresher Ballantyne beer. Enjoy sunny, mellow Ballantyne beer along with baseball. And, of course, by the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean. So, for 20 minutes or so, we'll return you to our studios. This is the Home of Champions Network.